welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel if you're one of my very few subscribers. So today we're going to do a very basic, very beginner friendly, very detailed base makeup tutorial. So, just the base, that's it. Straight to the point. So let's get started.
So I already did my eyebrows off camera. For primer, I'm using the Professional Pore Minimizing Primer by Benefit Cosmetics in my T-zone and the Smashbox Photo Finish for the rest of my face. I have oily combination skin. I like to underpaint, so I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpted Stick and dark to contour. I'm going to put it a little bit on my forehead and on my cheekbone. Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick by Makeup by Mario, and this is in the shade Dark. I'm using the Real Techniques Expert Face Liquid and Cream Foundation Makeup Brush to blend that out. I'm really like patting it into the skin and then slowly blending it forward. Same thing with the cheeks. I'm pressing it into the skin and then bringing it up. For concealer, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and Ginger. So because I like to underpaint, I'm going to do the contour and concealer first and then put the foundation on top of it. I just like to do it this way. I think it looks more seamless. I think it looks more natural, and you don't have to put as much product on. I'm using a small concealer brush to blend that out, really just pressing it in. I like to keep a paper towel nearby because I like to wipe my brushes before and after each use, just to make sure there's not a lot of product on there and I don't have to constantly keep washing them, but I do try to wash them pretty consistently. Anyway, I am just pressing it in and then buffing out the edges, really just pressing it into the skin so I can get the coverage. And just wiping my brush off. For foundation, I'm using the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24-Hour Long Wear Matte Foundation. I have to mix two shades, so I'm using 440N and 420W, and I put a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow in shade 5, and I mix that all together with a foundation brush right on my hands, warming it up and mixing all those products together. I have to mix it to get my right color. And then I'm just going to apply an even layer everywhere on my face that doesn't already have product. So anywhere that doesn't have concealer or contour, that's where I'm placing this foundation. And I'm just doing a smooth, even layer, trying to blend as much as I can using the foundation brush so that it's not a lot to blend after. I don't use this brush to blend, just to apply the foundation. Again, wiping my brush off. I'm then using the Milani Make It Last Matte Charcoal Setting Spray. I have oily skin, so this is my favorite setting spray. It definitely helps to keep you matte. And I'm just wetting the foundation so that it's easier to blend, and that setting spray mixes with it as I press it onto my skin and gives it and makes it last longer. I'm using a velour puff. I couldn't find this one to link below, but I did just link the triangle velour puffs. Everything's going to be down in the description, everything that I use, but you can just use a regular powder puff to blend. And I blend while some of the setting spray is still a little wet. And at first I'm just going right over the foundation. I'm not touching the concealer or the contour. I'm just blending out the foundation, and then once that's blended, then I go over everything with the puff just to make it seamless and blend together. I spend a lot of time on blending. I think that's what helps to have such a seamless makeup application. It's really just about the blend. Like, I spend so much time blending. I really take my time. I hate rushing because it's really all about the blend. I think that's the most important step when it comes to makeup. That's just my opinion, but yes. And then we're gonna go over everything. Like, so at first we just was blending the foundation, but now we're going all over everything. Again, just to make it more seamless. I'm then going in with this Rare Beauty liquid blush in Faith. I put it on the back of my hand, and then I took a little bit off the back of my hand with my fingers and put it onto my cheeks. I did go a little overboard. It's very pigmented. You do not need a lot of this blush. It's very pigmented. A little goes a long way. I'm sure you've already heard that, but I did not mean to do this. I end up, fixing it later, but for a while we're just gonna look real purple like that. For under my eyes, I go in with the NARS primer, the eyeshadow primer, and I use that for under my eyes to help prevent the creasing. I am gonna do a full tutorial on how I set under my eyes, but for now I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer, and that's just for the inner corner, and then I'm going back in with that same NARS concealer for the outer corner and the tip of the nose, well, around the nose. I spray that before I blend it out, dry it just a little bit, and then I blend it out. As you can see, I'm really just pressing it in the areas that it is and then slowly blending it out. Again, I'm going to do a full tutorial on how I like set under my eyes because I do it in a very different way, but I didn't want to do that in this video because I would have to change where I place the phone. But I really just blend it out first, exactly where I put it, and then spread it around. So to set, I use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder, and I use a velour puff and set under my eyes, and then I just press that in. To set my foundation, I go in with the Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder in shade 21, and I just go all over the foundation, and I was going over the blush because again I put too much and I had to tone it down, but I use that to set all of my face. So with powder foundation, with loose powder foundation, you want to put a little bit in the top, swirl it around on your brush, and then tap off the excess, and then just press it onto your skin to set. Next, I'm using the Huda Beauty Glowish Soft Radiance Bronzer in Deep Tan, and I'm putting that all over my eyelids, just to give me some definition since I'm not doing eyeshadow today. And I go down the bridge of my nose, the sides of my nose, and again, I'm not trying to do a super harsh contour, just trying to give definition to the face. I use a fluffy angle brush, and I'm putting that bronzer everywhere where I put the contour, so on my forehead, on my cheeks, just bringing color back to the skin. And I also put it on my jawline a little bit. I'm spraying again with the Milani Make It Last just to get some of the powders toned down a little bit. I'm going to dry that. Then I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Powder in shade 220, and I'm just going to use this to bake the areas that I put the concealer on. I am oily again, so I like to bake. You do not have to bake if you are not oily, and you don't have to do that. And I also brought it down to the blush because remember I put too much on in the beginning, so I'm trying to tone that down. To bake my cheeks, I use the Laura Mercier. I mixed the translucent honey with the translucent medium deep, and I put it in that little container, which is going to be linked below, and I use that to bake my cheeks. I just like the way it looks. You don't have to do that. I did my eyeliner and I have glue on my eyelashes, but what I'm doing here is just pressing the bake into my skin. Again, I'm oily. A lot of people like to dust it off, but I press it into my skin, and I'm going back in with that foundation brush. I didn't add any product onto the brush. I'm just using whatever product I have left on the brush to blend out those harsh edges and make everything blend seamlessly. As I said, I love to blend. I'm going back in with my bronzer brush. Again, I didn't add any extra product. I'm just using whatever is left on the brush, and I'm going in and going over the bronzer that I did, because after the bake you lose some. I'm spraying again with the Milani Make It Last. I use the Milani Weekend Brow, and I'm just like putting my beauty marks back, or moles, whatever you call them. I'm not making new ones. These are just the ones I have. So I just like reinforce them. Then I'm going in with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural Face Powder, and I'm going all over my face. As you can see, I puff my cheeks out. I get smile lines, so in order to not have those throughout the day, I puff out my cheeks. And now I'm going in with a face mist. This is actually the MAC Fix It Plus setting spray, but it's in a different bottle.
So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see next, because I'm going to try to be more consistent now with my YouTube. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and I'll see you next time.